Hello everyone, Brandon with Strict Vision Athletics here with the unboxing of the Iron Neck. So, full disclosure, this is the second time I'm doing this video. I recorded the whole unboxing, which is why this whole thing is in pieces, and then I realized that my phone was off, which really sucks. But it's okay, I got Eli over here, he fixed the problem, got a new phone, and now we can do the unboxing. So, this is the box that the Iron Neck comes in. Love this. It's American made in Texas, which I adore. So this is a really, really good shipping box to actually have it come in. Very cool, little eye and an N so you know where it comes from. Very, very cool logo. So this is the box as it exists when it arrives. And right off the bat, I will tell you, this is one of my favorite unboxings I've ever done. By far, one of the best packaging jobs of any company that has ever come to our gym. You have got instructions on the setup, the technology, the different functionality, and you've got information on the Iron Neck Training Lab. And this is something that I didn't even notice on the first time I did the unboxing. They have an instructional course through this QR code that you can access premium content for like 10 bucks a month, which for all you PTs, clinicians, and coaches out there, this would be really good if you're getting this for the first time and you don't really understand all the movements. This would be where you would go. So this is a really good add-on, and it's on their box. I mean, how cool is that? Look at this box. Unbelievable. Very, a lot of attention to detail. I can tell they went out of their way to make sure that every inch of this whole thing feels professional. So, once we open this up, and again, I apologize that this is not in its original, condition because I did already do this unboxing. First thing I noticed is that you've got this little instructional guide right here on the quick setup tips. This just rips right out of the top of the box. It was literally right here. So that's a really good thing for the setup information for the actual Iron Neck itself. Now this is the Iron Neck 3.0. So I have previously had the version 2.0, the Pro variation. So this is the Iron Neck, their newest model. And right off the bat, when I take this out and I look at this, there are several key differences that I pick up on. The first thing I noticed is the swivel technology. Now, the version 2.0, it did this exact same thing, but what I noticed is that if I were to change the resistance of the actual anchor right here, which swivels along your neck, it would sometimes get stuck. It would get a little bit tricky, so I myself never really meddled with this all that much. I would get it to where I knew it would work, and then I would leave it there, and I would kind of just change my resistance based on how far away from my anchor position I started, and that's how it would get harder and thus better for the neck to get stronger. Now, how does this work? I'm going to kind of treat this unboxing like you guys have never seen this product before and you have no idea how it works. So this is the Iron Neck. This is the actual piece that goes on your head. So this strap here can be adjusted based on where your actual head dimensions are. Now for me, my head is right there at the top of white number 1. So that's where I put the strap when I'm ready. When you're fitting this, you're going to want to fit this actually on your head so you know where it goes. Where I see the biggest change just from the design, aside from the new swivel, are the pads. Look at this. These pads come out. You can adjust these based on the thickness of your head. I'm sure you all know we don't all have the same shaped skull. People have different size heads. Well, now Iron Neck has thought of that with their new variation. You've got different options. I myself found that I was most comfortable in the middle option. So you've got the thickest, the thinnest, and then the middle. The middle option is the one that grooved the best for me, for my shaped head. I think I have probably a pretty average shaped head. I don't have a massive head, and I certainly don't have a tiny head. So this kind of fits me perfectly. Now when you wear this, you're going to want to adjust a few different things. First, you're going to want to pick your pad size. Secondly, you're going to want to put this on, and you're going to want to adjust your top strap. This is what I mentioned when I said mine was white number 1. That's where I arrange, because you want this to be right across the center of your forehead. You don't want it too high, and you certainly don't want it in your eyes. So you find that area, you do your strap, you've got your pad, and then the last thing you do is you adjust your chin strap. So I already went through all this, and it is still honestly a little too tight. So I'll adjust that. Get this in. Click. Okay, so now this is how I would wear the Iron Neck. From this position, this is my anchor. Now, included in this box set when you guys buy this is one bungee. Now, these bungees, I believe they have 4 different variations at Iron Neck that you can go and purchase separately. They include resistance number 2. Resistance number 2 is a very smart option for them to include. Resistance number 1 I use for my warm-up set. When I go to train my neck, I like to go through my range of motion with the different movement patterns with the first band for the lightest resistance. Then I'll go to 2, then I'll go to 3, then I'll go to 4, depending on how many sets I want to do on the neck itself. But you could tell this goes and attaches right here. So this is my anchor position. Now, how do I actually operate this? I take my handy-dandy little Iron Neck anchor, which is this right here, and what I do is I will anchor this to my rack. So I will hold this to my rack, and then I will walk away from it, and now I can turn and I can perform the exercises once it's actually anchored. So that's really, really good. Now, when I dug into this, and again, I apologize because this is my second time go around, so I'm sort of just reiterating what I didn't understand. This piece is included with the Iron Neck that I'm not 100% certain what this is for. I'm going to have to ask them because they've got 2 pieces. You've got this strap right here with these little anchors. There's 3 positions. Almost looks like a belt. And I'm not exactly sure what that's used for. And then you've got this little piece right here with this little, it almost feels like a ball bearing right here in the back that's threaded into the actual material. And I don't really know what this is for either, but I'm going to have to ask. So those are the 2 items inside of this box that I don't fully understand. But what I do understand is that they give you this. This is sort of a little beanie if you guys have like long hair like I do. Honestly, I don't even use the beanie. Whatever I'm in, if I'm wearing a hat, if I'm not, this is perfectly fine. It's perfectly comfortable. There's nothing catching your hair or sticking in you. Like, you're going to be fine if you have long hair. You're not going to have a problem. This may just be something extra they gave for just separate training, which I love. I mean, I'll wear this. I'll wear that snowboarding. Love that. And then, one last thing I did want to mention. When I look at this and when I really dig into it, the biggest change that I see to the anchor is their adjusting dial. So, like I mentioned at the beginning of the unboxing, version 2.0, which is the previous iteration of this that I have, would get stuck. If I were to tighten this, it would like kind of not move the way it was supposed to. So I ended up not really fiddling with it. But on this one, here, I'll let you hear it. Do you hear that click? This has a professional grade dial that will take this and tighten it. But I can tell you, even when it's tight, it's still smooth. It doesn't run as fluidly as if I were to loosen it all the way. Now it just slides like there's nothing to it. You can make these adjustments now on a tiny fractional increment and make it tough without making it impossible to perform the movement patterns. That was sort of a problem I had with the first iteration of this, or excuse me, I guess it would have been version 2, which is the one I had. This is version 3. In version 2, you just really didn't use that dial all that much. At least I didn't. I didn't find myself changing it really ever, to be honest with you. I just performed it with the same resistance I always used. This is going to be different. Thank you so much to Iron Neck. Seriously, this has been one of the craziest unboxings I think I've ever done, and one of the biggest improvements on a piece of equipment from version 2 to version 3, seriously, that I've ever seen. So thank you so much. I cannot wait to get using this.